Right, here we go for another Amiga Lads video. This time we got something a little bit controversial which Adam picked up. What was that then, Ads?
Right, it's an NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. Never had one before and happy to have one. Little story, cut it really short. Girl at work asked, well, she said that she had one going, sort of, trying to think now, up in the loft, and didn't want it. So she offered it for us sort of for nothing, and I said, look, I can't give it because there's a few games with it as well, so, you know, and she said, I'll give us 15 for it. So I thought, brilliant, that is fantastic. So games, 2 joypads, power leads, RF leads, and
so basically all the system then,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, so fully working system apart from a fault with it. Explain now?
Yeah, go on.
Right, so basically what happens is that you push it and you get the flashy red light.
Right, so but you need to put the game in it first, don't you? Yeah, you need to put the game in, otherwise it won't recognise.
Thanks. I'm glad I never owned one of these. Master System just go then it boots.
No, it's still the
got
same.
a flashy light.
So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to open up this little beauty and find out what's wrong with it.
Alright.
So right, if we take all the cables out first and see, and basically we'll strip him down, see what it is.
Tight.
Alright, take the game out. So we lift the old game out on the thingy. Right, if you want to explain how you actually clean the cartridges up, if you ever like Master System, Mega Drives, they're all different but on the same concept.
Alright, so what you got is 3 screws on the back of the cartridge, and what I'm going to be using
is like, that's a special game bit. Now you can get them on eBay, various stores, but there was 2 versions. You can either get a bigger version, which is like that. I think that was the Mega Drive and things like that, and that is like for the NES and various other systems. But you get, they're usually about 2-3 quid. You get them off eBay. So
what we're going to do is going to unscrew the screws at the back.
yeah, always make sure you've got your pot ready so you can catch your screws. You know what people like. I'm terrible for it.
Just throw them on the floor. So that's one which we missed. Should they be tighter than this?
No, they never tight.
That's 2. Bit more. Come on. Right, that's 3.
It's like torture.
So the cartridge should come out like that, and this one's quite dirty. These.
Cool, that's amazing, isn't it? Think how big the cartridge is compared to that game. Look at that. That's amazing. So these are obviously the EPROMs that have the game on it, and then you've got various other chips that control it. This is the actual edge connector that Adam will show you how to clean it up on both sides, that goes into the console itself. Now these have always got to be clean, no matter what. Some people say you can breathe on them, but that's a myth, because when you put your breath on it, it basically puts a mist back onto it, which makes them go dirty straight away. So he's going to show you how to do the proper way of cleaning this.
Is he? Never done one of these before in my life.
There you go, it's always the first, isn't it?
Never cleaned a cartridge. So we're using IPA, that's it. And I'll probably spill it on the carpet, which I should have had something in here. So just dip the bud in there, yeah?
Yep. Put the dub in. Make sure it's just soaked, that's it.
And then we're just gonna
just rub it up and down on the contacts. Now show the camera what you're doing there.
I'm just brushing the contacts.
Yep.
And just turning the cotton bud as well, I guess.
Now you'll notice when he lifts the cotton bud up, you'll notice there's all black on it. I don't know whether you can actually see that. But there's got a fair bit of black on that. Alright, go on, try the other side. You do it fairly hard against it, so you've got to put your finger on it, that's it. So you're like sort of rubbing it up and down on the contacts.
These cotton buds aren't that great anyway.
Yep. Do the other side as well.
I've done the other side.
Oh, that one. Now what I always do, once I've finished doing that, I always turn the cotton bud over. You notice, look,
yeah.
there's more dirt coming off on the cotton bud here. Now what I always do is, you can let them air dry, but I just dampen them off on the opposite side just to give it a light rub to finish both sides off. And that's all shiny again, so that will be a great contact for when it goes back into the machine. There's also another thing that we've got to do to the machine just to make sure it's 100% AEK.
That's if I've done it right.
Yeah,
there's a bit of black on there.
Yeah. Right, well, in the meantime, while he's putting that back together,
still dirty though.
yeah, you can go over it a second time, of course. It doesn't hurt it. It's just every time you do a second one, always put a clean one back in the IPA. Because if you put the dirt back into the IPA, when you use it again, it's always going to get dirty. So you chuck this one straight away in the bin.
So we're going to clean out or leave it?
Let's have another look at that. Now that's quite good, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's nice and shiny now. You could go over that a second time. Now, while he's going over that a second time, I will show you the console itself. Right, so we've got the NES there. Right, now what we need to do is we need to tighten up the connector inside it. Now there is 6 screws on the bottom of the console, as you can see on the console there. Now what we're going to do is use a Phillips screwdriver and open up all the 6 terminals so we get the lid off.
Good luck finding them.
It's always fun. This is going to be the slow part of the video, you can tell that coming. Right, there's the first one. We've got their motor. Right.
So that will keep you entertained.
Yeah, you can clean away while I open the console up.
Wouldn't it be easier to brush them forward?
You can brush them forward, doesn't really matter really. As long as they're clean and sparkly. So a certain amount you can't get off them. Now I've cleaned cartridges up from fire damage, which I've got given, things like that where it's really sooty. And you have to do that for about 2-3 times at least. And then as soon as you pop them back in the consoles, they're good as new again. Like they were in the day. But a lot of people save blow on them and things like that, but it's to be fair, it's not really good because you're putting the moisture back onto the contacts, which is what causes the contacts to rust and various other bits that you want the dirt to stay off them. So it's always a good idea to clean the cartridges probably once a month maybe, even if they've never been in the console.
Once a month?
Yeah, to keep them up and clean, because that way you don't transfer the dirt onto the contacts of the thingy.
You never play games.
Now this is the fun bit where Adam can't work out which way round it goes.
Yeah, I've got it, see. Hopeless of putting things back together. If I look at the game then, so obviously that goes back on there.
Yeah, you have to slide it back up, I think you're fine. Now the race is on, we'll get it back together. We'll get the lid off before he gets it out.
Yeah, I'm having difficulties.
Now you can tell he's never opened one, so if he can do it, we can all do it, to be fair.
Yeah, it just clips into place.
Slightly slides up.
Back.
Yeah, it slides up. It basically slides back into position.
Are you putting your screws back?
Yeah, it's the little silver ones you want. I'll do them up slowly as you go.
I wouldn't do them up too tight either, because you probably snap the case.
Yeah, it is very true. You just want them like finger tight there, so that they basically just grip it, but can't come back undone and not rattle the case, but enough to actually secure the game back into the pot.
And don't let it slip.
Come out.
Yeah.
3.
Not all the screws over.
There's always one that's always complicated.
Yeah, it's probably with me, I haven't put them in properly.
Right, so we've got the lid off there. Now what we've got under here is another shield. Now we have to take this shield off to get to where we actually want to go. Basically there is another, let me have a look here, there would be 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now you can see obviously someone's had this one apart before because they've put the metal shield back on the wrong way, because usually you have the screws going straight through that shield.
Cheers. Wasn't a bad attempt.
So we undo all these 6. Now this is very tedious to get it to this point, really bad. But
It's been tedious.
Well, it's not great for the YouTubers, is it, to watch someone just undoing screws all day long?
Fast forward it.
But no. So what other games did you get with it then, lads?
Oh. Right, got a Kiwa Warriors, which is a fantastic game on the Spectrum. Run around, blow people up like Commando? Yeah, Commando. Really good. Looking forward to playing that one. I don't know where the other ones are.
I think they were back here, weren't they? Somewhere. Where did we put them?
Disorganised.
There they are.
Very disorganised. Right, Punch Out. Never heard of it. I haven't, so it's got to be obviously boxing. Hopefully that should be alright as well.
Right, hang on 1 second before you get into the thing. Right, now we got into the next bit where we're taking off the shield. Right, so now what we've got to do is take this carriage out so we can actually get the motherboard to come out. Now let Adam get back to his games.
Thanks, been interrupted. Super Mario Brothers 2. Dying to play that one. And I can't remember, Blades of Steel. Never heard of anything about that one either. And of course the Mario Brothers.
Everyone had Mario Brothers, didn't it?
The Mario Brothers. So yeah, pretty good. So it's 5 games. So happy days, eh? I've only got to clean all these cartridges.
Yeah, you knew that was going to be the thing.
I'm not doing them tonight. Huh? I've done a Kiwa Warriors. Should I do Mario Brothers 2?
Yeah, go for Mario Brothers or Mario Brothers 2, it's worth a go.
I think Elaine probably want to play that. We'll have time to do this before that.
Yeah, easily, mate.
This one's tighter.
Yeah, they are. Some of them are, some of them aren't.
Frightening in case it slips. So I end up rounding the edges off.
Yeah, you will do. You won't never get it out. Right, so we need. If not, we'll do that one later.
Will that one work?
No, that's too big. It's that one. Try that later. Try Mario Bros. See if that's loose. You never know.
Shouldn't use a screwdriver though.
Right, in the meantime, how are we gone there? Why does that not come out? Ah, no one there.
What screw?
Yeah, there's loads of them in this one.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we've got all the screws out, hopefully the motherboard actually lifts out. As always for first though, you never know. Alright, so we've got the motherboard lifted up there. Now what we can do is we could unplug it all, but we don't really need to, really. We take the carriage out of the way, take him out. And what we'll do is we'll just disconnect these leads here for a second. This one here. These are the game ports. Now, they sometimes take a little wiggle to come out, but they do come out. And we'll take this main one out, which is, I believe, the other game port, I think. Let's try that one. Why won't you come out? So we've got him out.
How's it going?
Right, so we've got all the board out. That's that done. Now we've got the main motherboard. What we're going to do is we're just going to take that Helix shield off for a second. Get him out. So that makes it look even better. So now what we're aiming for is this connector here on the edge here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that off very carefully. Not to destroy the pins. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Adam to do the IPA in all the way along this edge connector. So when we put him back on, it'll be as good as new again.
Just taking this one apart.
There's always one, mate.
Yeah, but I'm busy. What have I got to do? I wasn't listening.
So you've got to do is clean all the edge connector along.
Great. Why do I get the cleaning jobs?
What have we got here?
So what happens if I touch the circuit boards? Obviously it's going to go.
It doesn't matter, it's IPA, so it will clean the circuit board anyway.
I just dip it in a bucket of IPA.
That'd be funny. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a pin. This is very boring, and we've got to basically bend up all the little terminals inside here. So you've got to be very careful. Basically, you're just bending the terminals up. And what this does, it will tighten up the port, ready for the new cartridge again. That one's high, that one.
I might have done that.
That one's really high and really low. Now this is very boring, but what we're doing in turn is trying to get so the cartridge sits in there a lot faster.
And that one's quite dirty, that one is.
So when you finish this, and hopefully, it's not guarantee it will work, but hopefully when we finish this, it will work. Now, when you leave your console on, and you play your favourite game, you shouldn't really leave your cartridge in it, because what happens is the actual terminals move back down. Because it's a heat thing. As the console cools down, the terminals expand as the console's on, and when it's turned off they de-expand. And if you've got a tight bit of plastic, which the cartridge edge is really, it decontracts the terminals, which means you're going to have to take it all apart again and do it all again. Now this is very boring, this part.
So's doing this. This board's quite dirty, this contact. It's like the third cotton bud now.
There we go then. So at least he knows that you're actually doing something. Now, as I'm about halfway along the board, only on the bottom right.
But you said you've got to do it properly, this cleaning this, yeah?
Yeah, you've got to clean it, make it look as spotty as new. Because what happens is people put them up in the loft and you don't realise the amount of the actual dust. So you store them away nice and for the thingy. But you imagine all that dust, you get up in the loft, and all that dust that's floating around, it gets in everywhere. Now we've all seen it, PlayStations, things like that. They're just dust harbours. And basically the dirt, because it's really dirty in the loft, it also get into the terminals. How's that going? Is that getting cleaner?
Yeah, I've only done one side. It's cleaner, yeah. It's 3 cotton buds cleaner.
At least you know it's definitely working. It's getting something off.
Yeah. That cartridge wasn't as dirty as this though.
It's probably where all the dirt came from.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get this going and it'll work then.
Well, no guarantee. Now you can buy the actual edge connector. I have seen them on various sites, you can buy them. But they do say rumour that they're not as good as the original. So really, ideally, we're trying to preserve the original contact. Which also is a bit of originality for the actual year of it, really. So I think it came out in 1985, I think it was.
83.
It might have been 83. I remember going in Dixon's.
No, it wasn't 83, sorry. 84. I've got a Master System, I've got a Master System at 86.
Yeah, I remember going in Dixon's playing it. Always used to be Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, I think it was, with the old gun.
I walked straight past them all. Stuck with a Master System.
Playing Mario all the time, trying to complete it in the shop. They never had to buy the console, just go in there and play it.
Oh, excuse me.
Can't be allergic to IPA, surely.
I don't know. It's getting that time of year again, isn't it?
What's IPA, lad?
No. I start getting colds.
Yeah, that's something else we'll be doing soon. We'll be going to Play Expo.
Yeah.
Which me and Adam will fill you in on the actual video. We'll be doing videos there, looking around. That'll be up on our YouTube channel as well, which will be quite interesting. You get stuff like cosplay there, retro on and off, new games, lots of memorabilia to buy. I'm sure we'll all come back and we can show you what we got down there. You never know.
Especially the Outrun cabinet.
There you go. He's thinking of buying himself an Outrun cabinet.
I wish. It won't fit up here.
We always cut it up to get in the loft.
Oh, I'm sneezing.
Now, let's have that game. Which was the one you cleaned?
Okay, my key roll.
Let's try that now. Still quite loose, that is.
Yeah?
Yeah. Which isn't a good sign.
No?
So I don't like bending them too much.
No. How much shall I try and get off this?
Rest until it doesn't slow.
Sneezing.
It's obviously an IPA cold.
I don't know what it is. It's giving me the sniffles though. That's fine. Hey look, it's just loads of it coming off.
It's amazing, isn't it? Amazing how much dirt.
Oh,
We'll leave that in there, we'll fish that back out later.
yeah, there's small cotton buds. Don't you want to get out now?
You can do, yeah.
What would it do to it?
You'll eat it away, basically.
Yeah, and then you just go thingy. How am I going to get that out?
Don't, at this stage, don't say to YouTubers for him to drink it all.
Yeah, we said about that a second ago. Well, a second ago before we started filming. Just don't drink it.
Yeah, it's not a toy.
You got a pair of pliers?
Got a pin.
Yeah, but you can't put anything thingy in it, can you? How to get a cotton bud out? I don't think this is a good way of doing it at all.
Down, down, down.
I don't know if my fingers will fit in there.
Time. Back at the plot.
No. Look, it's an accident, right? No, you...
Now, if you see a video later on when we're down the hospital, that Adam's got his finger stuck in an IPA pot.
I can't see it now. I've buried it.
There it is.
There's always one, isn't there?
This is impossible to get out.
You have to cut the lid open. You've got another pot? Well, another container.
No, because it won't be sterilised.
What, is it sterilised my finger in there?
Yeah.
I can't help that. Just a little bit that way, without spilling it. I've got him, but it's getting it up the top. I think
I bet it says that to all the IPA's taken out.
I won't call it an IPA. It's giving me the sneezes. I'm allergic to them anyway. Oh. Come on. I'm getting the ump with this now. I've nearly had it.
In the meantime, what Adam entertained you, I'm slowly getting to the end of this 72 connector.
Oh, fingers again. Thingy. Should we cut it? Like the video. Swim over here. That's just a little bit closer. It's just it's the top of the head of the rim of the I'm tempted just to tip it over and.
So what do you reckon, YouTubers? Me actually finishing this connector and get the console up and running, or him getting that thing out of there first?
I think I'll get it out of here first. I'm going to use 2 fingers now. I ain't got nothing else to grip it with. Yeah, got it.
Well, that's my bit out of the way.
Yeah. Right, what am I going to do with these now?
Don't lick them.
Can I use the board to wipe it?
Finish with your IPA in.
Yeah, but
I'm ready for the next stage here.
Yeah.
Can't.
Well,
Right, so what I've done is I've bent all those pins up slowly. Got to be very careful there without busting the thing because it is very delicate. In the meantime, Adam will entertain you for 5 minutes like he did before.
I won't entertain it. It fell out of my hand into there. The small cotton buds. Look how small they are. They're from, I don't know where they're from. It doesn't say. I think they're, don't know, the me time cotton buds. Is it 1,000? 800.
You get them in the pound shop, I think, fine.
No, we didn't get them in a pound shop. Might as well have done. Actually, talking of cotton buds, when you use them in your ear, they actually bend like that. I don't know why, but they're just flimsy little things.
Yeah, don't put the IPA in your ear. Remember that, YouTubers at home.
Why not? Why shouldn't you put...
So why we're Adam's entertaining, yeah? We can slowly get it back together.
It's still stuff coming off it. It's cleaner.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get a dry one.
That's a work. I think that's right, I think.
That's quite clean.
Yeah, but it's still black coming off it. It's still dirt coming off it.
This side.
Right, don't drop the cotton bud in. I'm going to do this game quickly. So I need to buy some, what is it called again?
IPA.
IPA.
And it can be quite expensive at times. You're probably looking about £8-9 I think for a litre.
Yeah?
It is quite expensive. It's what they used to use in old cassette units, video cassettes. It's the cleaning fluid. So you can, if you've got some left, you can always use that. Right.
Quite a game. Well, second-hand game for that.
Think how many consoles you could repair with it.
Yeah, but
Right, so we've got that nice and clean now. That's nice and shiny there, what he's done there. Now we've got to remember not to touch the terminals, because that puts fingerprints back into it. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this back together. Clean that off a little bit there. Alright, now well, first what we'll do is we'll put the board back onto the actual metal shield. Looks easy and it actually is. Now, there we go, so we've got that back on there.
hate these things.
And there's me, done a mistake there, I can tell that. First of all, I should have put the connector on. Easy mistake to do, I suppose.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll slide that back on the same way it came off. This time though, it'll be clean.
It'll be clean.
And that's quite a tight fit that is, so we've got all that back in. I always push them on so that they're actually all in there. Now we'll put the second one on, which is the actual shield. In the meantime, Adam's still cleaning.
No, I've cleaned. I'm just trying to get this back in.
Right, so we got that back in there. Now what we've got to do is reconnect the 3 connectors that I disconnected. Now what some people do, they clean it out, make it look all polished, because sometimes it's dusty. Obviously someone's been in this one before and done half the job for us. So we just connect the 3 cables back in, blue with the blue connector. Got him back on there. Then you've got 2 other ones here.
Figure out what way this
the
goes
green
in.
onto a little white connector. So we've got that one there. Another one to the little connector down here.
That must go like that. Yeah, that must be right.
So we've got that back in there now. Now we've got to make sure, you see these cables here, that we don't actually crush them. Making sure they're out of the way.
Right, it's just a back bit on.
As we put them in and put the board back down, making sure in the meantime you haven't actually crushed any of the cables.
No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Not with a system that I never had before and I never played properly before. Borrowed one. Remember the bloke's name? His name was Mark from school. Mark, if you're watching this, thank you, because you gave me Snake, Rattle and Roll and Super Mario Brothers 3 for about 6 months.
So now we have got it back in there. Now we've got to put the actual card slot back in. Slides back on there. Set, we've got him on there.
Yeah.
Now we're basically going to put the screws back in to find out.
Right, while you're doing it, I'm going to try Mario 2.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Push very hard onto the connector and should be able to come back in. Now there is, as far as I remember, there's 2 different types of screws here. There's a long set and there's a short set. Now I've got to cast my memory back to what I took apart. I think the long one goes at the front and the short one goes at the back as far as I remember. Yeah, that's it. So you always put the long connectors, the long screws at the back here. So you've got the longer ones at the back. It is important that people remember that, because otherwise you get them mixed up. You don't want to over tighten it and things like that. And you've got the two ones at the front, which are the shorter ones.
You said about that anyway, about the screws.
Right, so we're nearly back to the thingy.
Back to where?
To the stage where we get into down to the grips and putting it back together.
Are your legs getting sore?
No.
Oh.
So we've got that back on there. Right. So now what we want is we want the top shield back onto it.
I'm going to finish this before I even get this case opened.
Right, so we're nearly there. Let's have a look there. So we got just got to put the screws back in here. Now what we're going to do, before we put this lid back on, I'll just screw this all back down and we'll try the console out, because you never know, it might not work.
Hopefully it will. Win somewhere. I want it to. I really want it to.
Really wanted to. Huh?
Don't start singing. I've done it now. Lost a screw. Uh-oh.
See, that's why you always put the screws back in the pot.
Yeah, but it was there. It was, and then now it's not. Yeah, it was there. I've got
I
it.
hear it.
No, what's that?
It's a plastic terminal that's bust off it.
What? So how did that break then? I've got.
Obviously you've tightened it up because it's the middle terminal.
What do you mean?
The middle one. Look.
Yeah, but the screw's got to be around somewhere. Ain't it?
In the meantime, while we're doing that, we're researching for the screw. Remember, YouTubers, don't drop the cotton buds
in the PA. IPA. What's it? Oh, I've nearly done it then. Nearly done it again. Me and IPA doesn't like one another.
It's a match made in heaven.
So, it makes me sneeze. I've got a blocked up nose now. My fingers smell of IPWs. IPA. It actually says ISO on the front. So if you know what that is, then well done. What is ISO? I can't remember now. Virtual discs in it or something like that. Oh, come on. I don't think these cartridges has ever been cleaned.
Right,
They're not too well. I don't know. There's not a lot coming off them. There ain't. So I'm gonna have to invest in IPAs, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to. Great. And you reckon you should do this every how long?
Every month normally.
Every month.
Just to keep them pristine, because you don't want to transfer that dirt into the actual console. And keeping it clean makes it work first time.
It depends how often you play your games though. So it's still loose or?
Alright, tighten them up too much. Right, that's also another one, YouTubers. You see these two screws here that I put in last? If you over tighten them, this just keeps popping up and down. Now basically, to play the game, you've got to keep that down. And if it, as soon as you put the game in, if it keeps coming up, it will render it useless, basically. Right.
I'll leave that.
Right, so in the meantime, while he's doing that, now what Adam's going to do is he's going to reconnect the console.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you get it right way up.
I never know what way to they go in. I've done that one better, but I want to know where that screw's gone.
You can't put it back in anyway without gluing this bit in.
Gluing it?
Yeah, you bust the terminal off.
How have I busted that?
'Cause that's the middle terminal, look. You've got to glue that back in, because that keeps it there. So you're only going to have 2 screws in it.
Yeah, well, hold on.
The only other way of doing it is opening up the cartridge, put the screw into it, tighten it up so it lifts it up.
Well, I lost a screw anyway.
Right, in the meantime,
The screw's around.
we'll find that later, obviously. And where did you put that?
Put what?
Lift your legs up. No, no, definitely not under there.
Can't see it.
Well, we'll find that in a bit anyway. So, right, I hate these things. They're always the same.
I'm trying to hate them.
This bit, let's get it right.
Well, it's not right.
No, they're always complicated. So,
So how come that snapped off? Is that over tighten it?
you over tightened it.
Well, I didn't undo it. All I've done is undo it, done it. So it might have been done previously.
Could have been.
Right, I'm tightening them up now.
Right. So when he's done that, do you want to take? I'll take over doing that up for a second, and you plug him in for a second. Now remember not to put your hands actually inside the console.
Yeah. I can't see how that screw's gone now. I can't. Right, leads.
This was mono back in its day, never stereo. So you only had an actual AV out and thingy. Right, so what we're going to do, you never know, might work first time, might not. You never know. So we're going to get the game in. Be careful not to push on any of the cart thingies. Push them in, which is a lot of thingy.
It's on the right channel or not.
No, it's still playing up.
Still.
Yeah, which means that we're going to have to take that apart again and redo it. Now we're not going to do that now because it's a bit of a long video. But what we'll do is we'll say now, you know, good night for the time being, and we'll be back with our next video. So it's good night from me.
I'm not saying good night from me, or good night to you, or
There
whatever.
you go.
Right, I'll see you later. Good night. Can't believe it don't work. Get out.
Right, here we're back again, just showing you the last video. Now we've reconnected all the connectors back in, cleaned all the games up, and go on lads, let's see whether it works.
I'm smiling, basically. Probably won't work now. But
There
don't
you go.
see, but Akira Warriors is working. So well done. We're happy. I'm
Right.
happy.
We'll catch you on the next video then.
Alright, cheers. Good night.